This year's U.S. Open saw two fresh faces taking over the tennis scene, with 19-year-old Carlos Alcaraz winning the men's singles title and a 21-year-old Iga Swiatek taking home the women's singles title. It seems there are new stars emerging, starting off with what Andy said. While Andy Roddick retired from professional tennis back in 2012, he's always remained an important part of this sport. The 2003 U.S. Open winner was at one point notorious for his deadly serve. He broke the world's fastest serve record multiple times, with his serve reaching 146 miles per hour. So getting praise from him would definitely be the highlight of any young tennis player's day. After the young Polish tennis player won the U.S. Open this year, her third Grand Slam win, the tennis community applauded her for putting up such a fight. Amongst those was Andy Roddick, who took to Twitter to express his amazement. Tagging the 21-year-old in his tweet, he stated that Swiatek was displaying how to be a great tennis player. You need to grow. But the former #1 player didn't stop there. He also pointed out the number of difficulties Swiatek had to deal with throughout the tournament. She wasn't used to the balls and was entering the tournament after a difficult period. Still, Roddick insisted that she managed to deal with the pressure and found the best outcome for the final. And that's not just some nice praise, that's a full-length essay. We've got to give it to Andy Roddick for being so thoughtful and coming out with the best praise Swiatek has received yet. And Roddick wasn't wrong about Swiatek fighting through a number of obstacles to get to the trophy, following up with all the problems Iga Swiatek faced throughout U.S. Open 2022. There are many ups and downs that any athlete has to deal with during their career. It's just part of the game. But for the young Polish tennis star, it was mostly just a series of downs until her epic win at the U.S. Open. Leading up to the American Grand Slam, Swiatek's performance was so bad that she couldn't manage to move past the round of 16 in Toronto or Cincinnati. Suffering back-to-back exits like those clearly showed that there was something wrong with the two-time French Open winner. At the U.S. Open, she had another problem waiting for her: the tennis balls. Apparently, she complained about the balls that were being used on the North American hard court. She claimed they were horrible because of their light weight. The weight caused her to have more errors during her play and didn't have much of an impact on the hard court. But her complaints weren't taken seriously, and she just had to adapt to them. And boy, did she. She won 7 matches in a row and defeated Tunisia's Ons Jabeur to win the U.S. Open 2022 title. The winner herself was surprised that she won because of all the obstacles she had to face. She also claimed that the crowd in New York was quite loud and that it was difficult to maintain her focus. But she somehow overcame that too. No wonder Andy Roddick held such high praise for this talented 21-year-old. Moving on to another instance, Andy Roddick praised Swiatek. Yes, this wasn't the only time Roddick was impressed by this Polish tennis player. When this year's French Open was just around the corner, the former #1 sat down for an interview with Tennis Channel Live and claimed that Swiatek would be everyone's favorite at this year's Roland Garros. Iga Swiatek was conquering the game with 28 wins in her streak until then. She was also ranked at the top, so Andy's comment wasn't quite shocking, but is what he said next that must be the best compliment for a young tennis player out there. He claimed that she's soon going to be a French Open favorite, just like Rafael Nadal once was. Yep, she got compared to the 22-time Grand Slam winner and the king of the clay court. Roddick was certain that she would defeat the entire field of players and then some. Now that must have boosted the 21-year-old's confidence. From all this praise, it seems that Andy Roddick has found his favorite tennis talent and is a true fan of young Iga Swiatek. Let's take a look at Iga's stats to see if all of that praise is worth it. Well, just as Roddick had predicted, Iga went on to absolutely crush it in the French Open. She ended up defeating her opponent Coco Gauff in straight sets by 6-1, 6-3. That's brutal. But to truly drive the point home of how great she is, here's some stats from her career so far. After her U.S. Open win, she's won all 10 matches played against the top 10 players in a row. She's also become the first woman to win a number of major titles in the same year since Angelique Kerber in 2016. Her career trajectory is not different from the great Serena Williams so far. Just like Serena did in 2013, she's the first woman to win both the Roland Garros and the U.S. Open titles in the same year, and she's won about 7 WTA titles this year. The last player to win more than 7 in a row was Serena in 2013, who won about 11. And to add to the list of records, she was also the 7th woman in the Open era to win her first 3 Grand Slam finals in a row. She's on the same list as Monica Seles and Ashley Barty. To top it all off, she now has a total of 10,365 ranking points. These are the most points any woman has gotten since 2015. So it's safe to say that Iga Swiatek is dominating the tennis world right now. Moving on to another celebrity that seems to be a fan of Iga Swiatek. Following her U.S. Open win, the young Polish tennis player had just come to terms with her victory and that a lot of people were there to watch her, but a particular person in the crowd at the final truly made her lose it. It was none other than Matthew Perry, our favorite sarcastic king. He was there at Flushing Meadows to watch her play. It seemed like the New York court crowd's noise wasn't the only thing distracting her from the match. When the 21-year-old had won the US Open and things had settled down, she finally tweeted her reactions to finding Matthew Perry in the stands. She tweeted like any fan of Friends would, with a gif of a confused Chandler Bing. She claimed that every time she would try to concentrate on her game, Matthew Perry showing up on the screen during the changeover would distract her. It's safe to say that Swiatek is a major Chandler Bing fan, and we can't imagine how she managed to win under all that pressure. Following up with Ons Jobert's reaction to her loss. After getting defeated by Swiatek, her opponent in the US Open, Ons Jobert had nothing but praise for her as well. Jobert claimed that the Polish #1 had set the bar very high for everyone on the court in the post-match interview. Jobert also confessed that Swiatek deserved to win as she didn't make it easy for her at all. But the Tunisian's world #2 also confessed that she didn't like her very much, though that was just a harmless joke. She later clarified Swiatek could make it up to her by gifting her a Rolex. Well, let's see if that Rolex ever comes to her. Even though this was her second successive loss in a major final, Jobert claimed that she would keep her head high and would definitely aim for the #1 spot. With that wholesome attitude, we think Jobert will definitely clutch her own Grand Slam title one day. Finally, let's take a look at what's next for world #1. Well, both Iga Swiatek and Ons Jobert have qualified for the upcoming WTA finals being held in Fort Worth, Texas. This will be Swiatek's first match ever since her glorious win at Flushing Meadows. Her coach, Tomasz Wiktorowski, was committed on getting her more than 10,000 points, and well, that's been ticked off the checklist, so what's next for the 21-year-old? Other than that, the next major target is winning Wimbledon and adding to her list of Grand Slam titles. Swiatek has yet to pass the 4th round on the grass court at all England clubs, so maybe next year will be the year she finally does it. She has won the Junior Wimbledon title, and with the major 3 Grand Slam titles in a row boost, her Wimbledon victory doesn't seem unrealistic anymore. With Serena Williams having formally retired from professional tennis, a void has been created. There is to fill the void between Naomi Osaka and Iga Swiatek. Let's see who fills that spot first. As a wrap for this video, what do you think of Andy Roddick's comments about Iga Swiatek? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.